Next is to include validations and dropdowns. So let's say you were creating a report and you wanted the user to select the month. To include this drop-down box, you can go to Data, Data Validation. You have some options here. The one we need right now is the list. Now you have two options. You either type them in, so I could do this, say Jan, and split them with a comma, Feb, March, and so on. So let's have a look at that before I show you the second option. Or you can do a cell reference. In this case, I have my months up here, so I just have to highlight them. And I have my months. If someone comes in and types something else, you get an Excel error saying the value you entered is not valid, so they can retry or cancel. You can also add your own messages. If we go back to data validation, you can have an input message and an error alert message. As an input message, I could put make a selection and select month. As an alert message, I can also select if I want a warning or information sign. Please select correctly. Select from the list. So if someone comes here, they can see, okay, make a selection, select month. If they try to input something, they get my new message, say, please select correctly, select from the list. And if they say no, they have to put something. They can also type it in as long as it also exists in the validation. Now, obviously, the problem is they can copy cells on top of this if they want. So to get rid of this, you can do a Control-C and Control-V and it's gone. But obviously, if you're creating a template that you want to send out, you're going to be activating some protection in there, which we're going to learn in a later lecture. For a row to qualify as duplicate, it needs to be identical to the cells above or below it. In this case, if we wanted to get the unique values only, one option is to highlight the area, go to Data tab, and click on Remove Duplicates. Our data has headers in this case. We want to look at the duplicates for both company and agent. And you get the information that 2 duplicate values were removed. I'm left with a unique list. Now you have to be aware that it does overwrite your data, so you might want to copy and paste this somewhere else and then use this option. Another way you can remove duplicate values is to use the advanced filter. I have the option of filtering the list in place or copying it to another location. So let's say I copy to another location. That's my range. Where do I want to copy it to? Let's select this cell. And I want unique records only. The other option that you saw there was to filter the list in place. I could also do that instead of copying to another location, check mark unique records only, and it filters it in place here. A good understanding of absolute and relative referencing is really important in setting up a reliable spreadsheet. A relative reference is when Excel adjusts the formulas based on where you copy the formula. So for example, here, if we type a formula that it equals to this cell, and we copy this and paste this here, it updates it based on the relative reference of this cell to the cell where I have my formula. Now, if I want to fix it completely, I have to use this $sign or the shortcut key F4. So if I click F4 on this, it fixes completely the reference. So in this case, it fixes the B and the 78. So if I would copy this now here, it's still B78 because they're both fixed. Partial referencing is when you fix just one of them. So if I don't fix the B, just the 78, and now I copy and paste this here, what do I get? I get D78. D is this one now, okay, because the distance between these is 2. Now it's 2, so it's D, and 78 stays 78. So now instead, I'm going to press the F4 key again. Now my B is fixed. What do I get? B83. Because my 78 is now relative, my row number is relative, but my column is fixed. It's really, really important in Excel to understand this absolute and relative referencing. And like I said, the shortcut key really helps. So if you're in your formula, just press F4. When you press it the first time, you get the $2 signs, then you get one for the row, you get one for the column, and then you get nothing. So this is a fully flexible formula reference, and then you press it again, and it goes back to step 1. In this example, we're going to quickly practice this absolute and relative referencing. So we have a report here where we want to multiply these numbers by the global factor. So the original formula is basically this times this. But I want to be able to copy this across and copy this down. And it doesn't work right now because I'm not properly referencing the cells. If I click on this formula, you see that my global factor has moved. I always want it to be this one, but without me having to do this all the time. So what would I have to fix here? This one, right? And do I have to fully fix it or partially fix it? I have to fully fix it because I don't want this cell to move at all. No matter where I'm pulling my formula across, this cell should always be here because that's where my global factor is. So I'm going to press F4 once, and now I'm going to copy this down. You can see that my references are good. In the next example, we're going to multiply by a monthly factor. So this is the factor for January, and this is the factor for February. How would I write this? I would say this times this. I haven't fixed anything, so let me pull this across and see if it works. Yeah, this works fine because both of them moved, which is what I wanted to do. Can I copy this down? I get problems. Why? Because this is shifting down as well. So what do I have to fix in this case? The row, because I don't want the row to move down. And the row is my 75. So now let's try it. And let's check this one. It works great. I know this is pretty much a basic topic that you probably learn in a basic training, but I have seen some Excel users who are not so comfortable with this absolute and relative referencing. So please practice this if you think you need to. As you can see, these simple features can end up really saving you a lot of time. Now it's your turn to practice to master these.